The Kryvath warship hung in the void like a blade waiting to fall. Commander Zethris stood at the bridge viewport, 4 eyes gleaming with predatory satisfaction as the blue-green planet rotated below. His species had conquered 17 civilizations in 4 cycles. Number 18 would be no different. "Commander, we are detecting primitive vessels approaching our position," the scanner technician reported, mandibles clicking nervously. Zethris bared his teeth in what his kind called a victory smile. "Primitive, how delightfully accurate. Prepare the disintegration array. Let us show these creatures what it means to face the apex of the galaxy." The human vessels were small, almost comical in their construction. No energy shielding, no quantum drives, just chemical propulsion and hope. Zethris watched 3 of them drift closer, their hulls scarred and patched like the toys of children playing war. Then something impossible happened. The lead human ship opened its cargo bay, and instead of weapons, it deployed what looked like debris. Chunks of twisted metal, fragments of rock, pieces of what appeared to be their own destroyed satellites. The objects drifted in a calculated spread, each one following a precise trajectory. "What are they doing?" Zethris demanded. Before anyone could answer, the Kryvath warship shuddered. Not from weapons fire, from impact. A single piece of debris, no larger than a fist, had struck their hull at 17,000 meters per second. The kinetic energy tore through 3 decks before the emergency containment fields activated. "Damage report!" Zethris roared. "Hull breach on levels 9 through 11. They are using velocity as a weapon. Our shields are designed for energy attacks, not mass-based projectiles at these speeds." A voice crackled over the communication channel, calm, almost casual. "Kryvath vessel, this is Captain Rourke of the Terran Defense Initiative. You are in violation of our orbital space. We strongly suggest you reconsider your position." Zethris slammed his fist against the console. "Fire all batteries. Reduce their pathetic fleet to atoms." The disintegration beams lanced out, brilliant purple energy that could atomize steel. They struck nothing but empty space. The human ships were already moving, their trajectories chaotic and unpredictable. They spiraled and dove in patterns that defied tactical logic. "They are not following any known combat doctrine," the tactical officer said, confusion bleeding into fear. "Their movements appear random, but they are avoiding every targeting lock." Another impact, then another. The humans were not just throwing debris. They were calculating angles, velocities, and timing with terrifying precision. Each strike exploited a weakness in the Kryvath design philosophy. Their shields blocked energy. Their armor resisted plasma. But simple mass moving at orbital speeds was bypassing every defense. Inside the cramped cockpit of the human vessel Defiant Hope, Captain Rourke watched her tactical display with ice in her veins and fire in her heart. Her co-pilot, Lieutenant Dax, worked the controls with practiced efficiency. "That last strike knocked out their point defense grid," Dax said. "Window is opening." Rourke keyed the fleet channel. "All units, execute Shepard protocol. Make them understand what happens when you underestimate a species that learned to hunt before it learned to speak." The human ships accelerated, their movements synchronizing into something beautiful and deadly. They were not fighting like a technologically advanced civilization. They were fighting like wolves, like creatures that understood prey, pursuit, and the patience required to bring down something larger than themselves. Zethris watched his weapon systems fail one by one. He watched his crew panic as the humans proved that sophistication was not the same as superiority. His species had conquered through overwhelming force and advanced technology. But these humans had turned the environment itself into a weapon. "Retreat," Zethris whispered. Then louder. "Full retreat! Engage quantum drives!" The Kryvath warship tore a hole in reality and fled, leaving behind the wreckage of their assumptions. In the silence that followed, Rourke looked at the stars through her scratched viewport. Humanity had no energy shields, no quantum drives, no disintegration beams. But they had something else. They had evolved on a world that taught them to solve problems with whatever tools were available. They had learned to turn weakness into strategy and limitations into innovation. "Captain," Dax said quietly, "they will come back with more ships, better prepared." Rourke smiled. "Then we will teach them the next lesson. You do not survive as apex predators by being the strongest. You survive by being the most adaptable." If you enjoyed this story of human ingenuity against impossible odds, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of humanity, proving that the greatest weapon is not technology, but the refusal to accept defeat.